Today there are going to be 2 sophomore speeches, so please try and keep your announcements short. And there's also going to be an executive student council meeting today, so please be there. Remember, keep those announcements short. Thank you.
I promise I have 3 very short announcements. Number 1, for the cast of Pippin, if you will look outside room 6 or outside the theater, you'll see the makeup rehearsal schedule, so make sure that you all look at that. Secondly, for the cast and crew of Pippin, we have curtain call rehearsal at 11:45 today, so please make it a point to eat your lunch and then come. It shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. We'll be done. And finally, for everybody, we have more than 50 students involved in Pippin, backstage, on stage. An alum is in the band, and we would love to see lots of you there for the performances, which start this Thursday at 7:30 in the theater. You can reserve your tickets, which are free, by going to york.org and following the link to the reservations page. At the moment, Saturday performances are pretty well filled. Friday is just about filled. Sunday is filling up, but we would love to have a full house for opening night on Thursday. So if you haven't made your reservations, please do so. We'd love to see you there.
A few weeks ago, someone left this lovely bag in my van with this most intriguing book called Asylum. None of my regular riders will lay claim to it. If it's yours, get it from me outside when you leave.
For juniors and sophomores, the SAT pilot exam, which will be held on December 18th, I need you to sign up today if you would like to participate in that. I need to have a count, so thank you.
This Wednesday is a late start day. Classes begin at 9:30. The library will be closed in the morning, but the student center will be open. Thank you.
If you don't at first succeed, try again. I have referred to this expression many times in my life. I grew up in a tennis family. Well, that's putting it lightly. So it seemed that tennis was my natural path. I entered my first tournament when I was 8 years old. Upon arriving at the courts, I spotted my opponent at the check-in desk. She was about 5 feet tall, and compared to me at that time, she looked like a giant. When the match commenced, she slammed her first 6 serves past me and hit a winner every other point. It was over quickly. I got creamed. I dragged my feet off the court, with tears running down my face in frustration. My dad just responded, "Alyssa, this is your first match. We just have to practice more." I trained intensely that month to get ready for the next upcoming tournament. When the big day finally arrived, I was pumped. My new hot pink tennis outfit looked sharp, and I had my big tennis bag strapped on my back. I was ready. Feeling focused and confident, I started a match against a girl about the same height as me. When we began the match, we rallied the ball endlessly. I would hit some high lobs in the air, and then when she missed, my adrenaline would rush. The tables then turned from the 4th game and on. She didn't make a mistake. It was as if someone lit her feet on fire. She never stopped moving. Once again, I left the courts extremely frustrated. My parents were on the sidelines ready to console me. Perhaps I would try other sports. However, basketball, that did not work out. I was way too short, and the other players towered above me. I was too slow for soccer, and I had a tendency to score in the other team's goals. After experimenting with these sports, I realized I missed playing tennis, and I wanted to make it my goal to become a better tennis player. So I entered another tournament. This time, there were only 2 people entered. including me. So I figured I had a 50-50 chance to win the whole match, therefore winning the tournament. When we began the match, we had so many close points, but she won the first set. I tried not to lose my confidence, and that paid off, as I won the second set. Now we had to play a 10-point tiebreaker. The first person up to 10 points, ahead by 2, wins the whole match. I was up 9-8, only needing 1 more point to win. The scorching sun was beating down on my neck, and the sweat from my palms made my racket grip really slippery, but I tenaciously kept fighting. We were tied, 14-14. I just kept saying to myself, Alyssa, you got this. Don't mess up, you got this. And guess what? I lost the next 2 points. Therefore losing another match. I was crushed. After the match, my brother Josh explained to me, Alyssa, there's only 2 people competing against each other in one of these matches, and one of them has to win. Next time think, why not you? So I thought to myself, yeah, why not me? So I entered another tournament. I took my brother's advice and I changed my whole mindset. Instead of thinking that I was going to lose and the other player was so much better than me, I thought, hey, why not me? After 13 losses in a row, I finally won my first match. There was no time to celebrate because I, Alyssa Pompan, was competing in the finals. Yeah, the finals. After a hard-fought 2-hour match, I finally hoisted that winner's trophy high above my head to cheers coming from the crowd. Well, a crowd as in my mom, dad, and my brother, but it was a crowd. Anyone can have his or her moment in the spotlight. All you have to say to yourself are 3 words. Why not me?
In the 6th grade, I was trash. At least, that's what the other students called me at Seaside Middle School. Classmates would trip me in the hallways, knock the books out of my hands, and hiss terrible words at me in multiple languages. Yeah. My face and palms became accustomed to the hard concrete walkways of my school. They did this because I was white, just like they had at all my other schools. I learned to keep my head down and my mouth shut because I knew these middle schoolers wouldn't let me explain myself. Then, after about a year at Seaside Middle, a secretary called my parents, saying I would now go to the international school in Monterey. I still remember my first day. I'm following a girl who could have been on the cover for 17 magazine into algebra class. I see my new math teacher sitting at the corner of my desk, grading what looks like a diagnostic test. There's one other student in the room, a colossal boy built like a brick wall. His arm muscles are at least the size of my neck. His skin was the color of coffee without milk. My first thought is, he's gonna hurt me. He's gonna hurt me. He's gonna hurt me. He looks over, notices my hunched frame and big, wide eyes, stands up and saunters toward me, an air of invincibility forming around him. He smiles, opens his mouth to say something, but I can't hear him. The blood rushes to my ears and my knees are shaking, kind of like right now. I'm thinking, he's gonna hurt me, he's gonna hurt me, he's gonna hurt me. And my second thought is, there's a teacher in this room. He wouldn't dare hurt me. Slowly the panic left me, and he stands, waiting for my answer. What? I ask, shaking. My name's Sai, and yours? Tegan, I say, quickly take my seat. I'm impressed my teacher could read my handwriting, I was shaking so bad. But, although the original fear was gone, I still shook with anxiety for what the future held. Sure, he seemed nice enough, but I wasn't letting my guard down, nor taking any chances. He might have been nice today, but what about tomorrow? What about in a week? What about in a month? Through the fear, an immense feeling of guilt engulfed me. I just judged this boy the same way I had been judged at my old school, without giving him a chance to explain himself. How was I any better than they were? Over the next 2 years, my fear of him slowly subsided as I learned that he protects the people he loves immensely. He's super smart and he can make anybody smile. Ironically, he's been my boyfriend for about a year now. My first thought when I saw him was, skin darker than mine, bigger than me. He can hurt me. He will hurt me. How funny that society sees him in the same light. Over the past year, I have learned more about Trayvon Martin and the Black Panther Party than I could ever imagine. It terrifies me to think that my boyfriend could be shot for his hands in his pockets and the only dangerous weapon on him being his intelligence. I learned something over these past couple years. Don't judge someone for how they look like, or for how they look, whether the color of their skin, or how big they are, or the similarity of someone who hurt you. Because for my boyfriend, it could be fatal.
Tomorrow during lunch is picture retake day, so if you missed the first day of school and you'd have your photo taken for the first time, or you would like another photo taken, tomorrow during lunch outside the library. Thanks so much.
Alright, there is a Classical Honor Society meeting today in the Underworld. We'll be working on our 12 tables. Please show up if you can.
If you're on the water polo team, please give me $10 for Cody's gift. And if you're not on the water polo team, you can still give me $10.
Girls field hockey has our second to last game today. It's against Stevenson on the field at 3:30. You should all be there. Girls tennis had our last game on Thursday against Stevenson.
And we won! Tennis girls, you're all in debt to me. $7.50.
Cool. All right, remember exec meeting today and go to class.